Check out those CV angles. Man, that's maxed out. What's up guys, Kevin with Badland Industries. I'm currently working on my buddy's H3t, putting a new 5-cylinder motor in it. He spun the rods and pretty much destroyed it, and I'm putting in my old motor and rebuilding it and all that fun stuff. So if you guys are interested in something like that, go check out some of the other videos we've got going on. Today I'm actually working on a new product that you guys can buy, and nobody's ever done it. These trucks have been out for almost 15 years now, almost 20 really, 2006, and they have never seen a production differential drop. Now the Colorado Canyons only have 4 bolts, whereas the H3 has 2 bolts and then a drop cradle behind the or below the lower control arm brackets. It's my opinion that the Colorados and Canyons can bolt that part into their truck and avoid some of the frame tearing issues that they experience when you lift. I'll link that video in the description below. I actually fixed a buddy of mine's truck right here in this driveway. He literally backed out of the driveway and the control arm literally ripped off of the frame. So the H3 crossmember will bolt into the Colorados and Canyons, and it's my opinion that that's an upgrade if you can find one. They're kind of expensive sometimes. But the H3 does not have a production available differential drop. Just by way of the crossmember and how that mounts, nobody's really figured out a way of making a crossmember that will drop until now. Let's tear into this and I'll show you guys how to drop your front differential an inch and get your CV axle angles back to relatively normal. Also, apologize for the noise today. Apparently the tree trimming crew 1 block over decided to pick the same day to cut a tree down as me filming this video. So it's a little breezy. They're off and on shooting chips into the back of the truck, so just want to caution you guys on the audio quality. It might be a little iffy this video. Sorry. So I offer polyurethane differential isolator bushings to replace the discontinued rubber ones. The H3s have a 2 bushing bracket, and then that 3rd bushing on the cross member till recently has not been available in polyurethane. I think another company makes them, but they're like $400 for the set of 3 bushings. So I think it's a little extravagant, but got to figure out a price on this kit for the rear and front for the H3s, but I'll put a link below to that kit if you guys want to check that out. But I'll be installing that in this video as part of this diff drop. You can do them separately. You don't have to do the diff drop and the poly bushings, but I do recommend, since you got everything apart, it's pretty easy to do real quick. So this kit will end up coming in 2 bags. Basically it'll be like the front drop and the rear drop. I'm going to do the rear drop first, and we're going to take a couple of these brackets out and a couple of these bolts first. So I've removed all the bolts and nuts except for the 2 outermost ones. I've got my persuader here, and we're going to tap this guy out. There we go. So I designed my bracket with a little bit too tight a tolerance in here, and we need to grind just the tiniest bit off of the side here. At least the rear on this truck works just fine, but you may have to grind just the tiniest little bit off the bottom here of the frame side of the truck. No big deal, but unfortunately that's just the way I designed it. I'm going to fix it once I exhaust what brackets I do have in stock. So I figured I'd at least put it in the video here so that if you guys happen to get the ones that are not quite the right fitment, the zero grind fitment. It's not that big a deal. So we're just going to get the nuts on and placed. We're not actually going to tighten anything down just yet. Alright, now that you got all 4 bolts in and just nuts on, we're going to go to the other side and drop the other side now. Alright, it's at this point in the video that I'm going to deviate a little bit. Basically, if you're not going to replace the bushing, just tighten everything up and you're good to go. But I want to take this bushing out and I want to show you guys the new poly bushings that we're going to be putting in. So I'm actually going to remove the bottom 4 bolts and pull the whole entire cross member out. Dude. That's so much mud coming out of there. Wow. Derek, buddy. One of the best ways I've found to get these bushings out is you get yourself a drill bit that's narrower than the rubber. You stick it in there and work it around a little bit. You need a big enough drill bit that if you bend it, it's not going to snap off, but if we go slow enough and don't twist this too much, you'll be just fine. So just too big of a drill bit. Alright, let's try a little smaller one. There you go. Pretty easy. So there's a sleeve in here, a little metal sleeve that we need to remove. And the best way that I found to do that is to cut it with a sawzall and then tap it out. And so you guys see that little cut right there? I cut all the way through the sleeve that's in there. We're going to take a punch or a little metal chisel here and we're just going to tap that ring out. There you go. All you got to do is cut through the side a little bit and damn near falls right out. I'll take my file and we'll just clean this up real quick, get all the kind of rust and whatnot off of here, and then we'll get the bushings put in. So when you order the rear diff bushing kit or even the front diff bushing kit, you will have to cut the old bushings out, but you won't have to modify the kit in any way to install it. It fits in, it bolts in just fine. These ones are a little bit tight to the bore, that's okay, and just got to press this guy in after you get the 2 bushings in. So something like a C-clamp or a big set of pliers or whatnot will get these in just fine. I'm going to grab just a small bit of grease and That's probably too much, but lube this bushing up a little bit and make sure it gets in easily. Because like I said, it is a little bit of a tight fit, so we can make it easier on ourselves. More the better. And you know, a little bit of lube never hurt nobody. Probably should have saved some of that grease for the pin too. You can use a little bit of grease or a little bit of WD-40 or something like that and get this to slide in real easy like. Nice. Perfect. All right, let's go put it in the truck. So I'm going to put the old third bushing bolt in, but I'm not going to tighten it all the way. We're just going to locate it because we got to do the front drop now. All right, so near the bag you're going to have a couple bolts and some spacers. We're going to have 1 bolt and 2 of the spacers. There you go. Set those off to the side, and we're going to get this 1 bolt off here on the passenger side. All right, we're going to loosen up the other side now. Alright, so there's absolutely nothing connecting the diff to the truck right now. Alright, we'll get our spacers and put them on top of the diff there. Get them pretty centered up. Stick a bolt up in there and screw them down in to the nuts that are up in the frame. And once you got all 3 bolts threaded, got them in. Alright, now we can tighten up all of these. Let's go to the other side. So the kit's going to come in some spacers and some kind of bolts and washers here. These are subject to change for the production model just because of you know, what's available out there. Something that's a little bit cleaner. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to bolt up your skid plate here. Put it above the washers but under the spacers. Get your bolt here. Install the rear one. See, front skid plate here. Tuck this guy up where he belongs. Washer to slide through, and I'll bolt it in here. So the back ones will mount to the cross member like normal without any spacers. The spacers are going to go up here in the front control arm cross member above both skid plates. Getting all these bolts started threaded, and then got them all in. That's so much better. Wow. So I did not replace the bushings on the side differential brackets in this video because I've already done it in the Colorado video. Basically, it's about 50% easier for your Hummer guys because you only have 2 bushings versus the Colorados that have the 4. So if you buy the full kit, the Diff bushings, it'll come with everything you need. The differential drop will come with the front drop brackets and bolts, the rear drop brackets and bolts, as well as the skid plate spacers, so that everything lines up and we don't have any clearance issues. That's about it, guys. If you liked this video, or if you guys have any other questions or video topics, please comment below. If you guys want to check out the 6-liter and 40s and 6-speed 00 Overlander build that I'm working on, subscribe to the channel. I'm also going to be finish up swapping the 08 3.7 back into the H3t this week, so you guys get to see that next week. But feel free to comment below if you got any questions on this kit, or if you want to check out anything in this video. All of the links to the videos as well as the products will be in the description below. Thanks for watching.